Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, it's Mike with TradeWinds RV Center here to congratulate you on the purchase of your Forest River No Boundries 19.6 travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things taken into consideration when parking. First, on your campsite, your awning. Leave plenty of room for your awning to come in and out. And on your off campsite, of course, I want you to leave room for your slide to get in and out. But then I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your water is going to be toward the front of the unit right here for campsites. And then your power is going to be all the way at the rear of the unit. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive and unhook or hitch, first thing we're going to do is level your unit. Your unit does come with a power tongue jack. A night docking light should you arrive at night. Simply raise or lower the unit until it's level. Once you've got it level, we will stabilize it. If for some reason you don't have power, that hand crank right there will tuck in here and get this jack up and down should you not have power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts now and then, make sure those haven't wiggled loose over time. Got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit have these stabilizing jacks. 3/4 inch hand crank here. You can use a impact driver or drill gun and run these down. I'm just going to bring them up for a minute. Now I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. These jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris and hot blacktop in the summer. Use your 10% off coupon, grab a 4-pack of those, run them down on top of your jack pads just until it's taut. Once you have any type of resistance on your hand crank, stop. Remember, our unit's already level. All we're doing at this point is stabilizing it. Come down the front. A couple more in the back. Got our unit level and stable. We can hook up our power and water. All the way on the off camp side, rear end, you've got your power. 30 amp cord plugs in here. It'll plug into the left and then turn it to the right. Put this black washer on. At the end of that 30 amp service, should you need to plug into a 110, there's a 30 to 15 amperage reducer that comes in your convenience pack. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up our water. Back up to the front of your unit on the off camp side. At the campsite, you're going to hook up to city water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting all the lines in the unit. Always use this when putting fluid in here. Hook that up. Hook up your hose, but don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. On your unit, your hot water heater is over here on the campsite, right above your tires. All we're doing at this point, making sure our drain plug's back in. You may have left it out the last time you were out camping. Throw some plumber's tape around that, not putty. Putty will gum up on you. Get that in there nice and snug. That's an 1 1/8 ratchet. Get that in there nice and tight, then you can go ahead and turn on your hose. After your hose has been on for a little bit, go inside, open up your water taps, get a nice steady flow of water going through all those. Once they're done, go ahead and shut them taps off. Then you can turn on your hot water heater from indoors. There is an on-off electric element down here. The only time you ever want to turn this on out here is if you're hooked up to 110. Otherwise, turn it on indoors. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to hook up at a campsite. We're going to go dry camping, or boondocking as they like to call it. In that case, we're simply going to fill up our potable or fresh water tank. It's just above our city water tank. No need for a water pressure regulator here. Simply use a hose. Two ways to tell when it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here. Or two on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks and your battery. There's also a fresh water button. Once this tank is full, put that cap back on, and then whenever you want to utilize that fresh water, you'll turn on your water pump inside. Don't turn on your water pump when hooked up to city water. That's already pressurized. All right, you're all set up with power and water. I'm gonna walk you around the rest of the outside of the unit, starting here and your off camp side. Got a little spray port. I'll show you where you can plug that in, spray the unit off at. Big pass-through storage. Fresh water, city water, fresh water dump. Come around your slide here to the back again. Your gallon wastewater tank. Black tank flush, we'll talk about that when dumping our black tanks. Cable and satellite hookup, your power. Spare tire. You got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year, check the seams of your roof, caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. Up here, you're prepped for a Furion backup camera. It's a device that sits on the dash of your tow vehicle, electronic communicating with another device we put on here, giving you a backup camera for the unit. Continue down here, we've got your flue for your furnace. If you're running your furnace, don't touch that, it does get hot, and try to make sure nothing is ever blocking it. On the campsite, your awning. Just want to mention it does have pitch control. If it's raining, you can pitch that down here and run all the rain down this way for camping picnic tables down that way. That blue spray port hose will plug in right here. Going down to the campsite, you've got a vent for your microwave. Again, your hot water heater. A couple of 110s out here. Your low point drain right there behind the tires. A quick connect LP. You have a table, a stand for this griddle that'll both set up here, and there's your quick connect LP below there. Continuing around to the front, easy access to the top of your propane here. And lastly, your battery disconnect. This will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide propane detector. That about covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Okay, so coming up inside the unit, first thing I like to point out is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Here you have your accent lighting for up here, a couple USBs, and up top your little control panel. This will run your awning in and out. I want to show you real quickly on your awning. You only want to run that out until that flap falls down to 90 degrees and you can see your bar. That will continue to run itself out and start to run itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you run it out and make sure you don't run it out too far. Also slide control, we utilize that when closing the unit. Your awning light, your porch light, and your interior lights. Get your awning rest way in here. Continue our tour. Kitchen here, you got a light and a fan. Glass top makes a nice backsplash. Turn that to high, light it with a stick lighter. Self-explanatory microwave. Down below that, your vacuum system. You can hook the hose up there and turn this on, or simply sweep everything to here and lift that up, and it'll vacuum it out. Underneath our fridge here is your access panel to your breaker box and fuses, as well as your carbon monoxide propane detector, which is running off 12 volts. That's always running off your batteries. So if you are going to be dry camping somewhere, boondocking, nothing plugged in, charging your battery, use your battery disconnect to keep this from running your battery down while you're gone. On your Norcold fridge, hold this in and turn it on. Whatever is white is what you're controlling. So here we are controlling the freezer. This is the fridge. I like to keep the freezer at 5, fridge at 3, and this is a night mode telling the fridge, hey, I'm not going to be opening and closing it as much. Please save me some power, and it does so. Over here is your thermostat. On the wall, we're going to crank this up to AC. Turn temperature down. Try AC to crank on down there. There's that running. We'll shut your AC off. All the way to off here. You'll see that'll shut off rather quickly. Now when I go back and I turn on your heat, you will notice, turn your thermostat or your furnace on. Now that kicked on. When you shut your furnace off, you will notice when the furnace shuts off, it takes a few minutes longer for the fan to cycle through before shutting off. In your bathroom here, your lighting control panel. There's your brand new battery. There's the freshwater button I said you can hold down and tell when your potable water is full. Black and gray tanks. Your water heater, turn on here. Your water pump if you're using potable water. There's you got a pad on all of your holding tanks. This will turn on the heating pad for that. And this is your solar control panel. All this does is keep your solar panel from overcharging your batteries. So this controls that for you. I'll send you a separate video from GP Electric on these. Do you have a hand crank open? Exhaust vent in here. There it goes. Take that off. Continuing into the living room. The sofa, of course, will jackknife down to a bed. This sofa is also a great spot to store this table for travel. You'll flip it upside down on here, and then you can use these straps to hold it in. Speaking of this table, your bed here, jackknife this one down. Come on up in here to the corner. Let that bed down. Hold on your mattress, and just that quickly, you've got your bedding. Has some accent lighting for your closet in here. 110 with GFCI reset, your inverter, and a couple USB ports. A couple USB ports and 110 on the other side. Close this up. Just flip your mattress back up. Bring this board up. As you push it up here, it's going to click itself right in. Jackknife your bed back up, and you're back to a sofa. You do have a 32-inch Connex TV that comes in this. That'll plug in there. And that about covers everything on the inside. Show you real quickly. Access panel underneath this side over here. Got your drawers and access panel to get to your water. To act like we're closing the unit up, first thing I like to do is flip this table up. Flip it upside down on the bed here. Strap that in nice and tight. Then I like to come to my main door and shut off my interior lights. Then I can see any individual lighting that I need to walk through and shut off by hand. Other ones back here behind the bed I should have done before putting the bed back up. Those are one-touch lighting. Check that one on in the bathroom. Got all of our lights off. Come to your control panel, turn your living room lights on from here. and say doors and drawers. Make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slide from coming in. Slide room in. Once that's in, shut off our interior lights. Exit the unit. Main thing you have to remember on these steps is to make sure that your exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise, this could catch on it. You do have adjustable legs. Just have to press these in to move these legs up and down. Lock and deadbolt your exterior door, lift and turn your handle. At this point, we're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable. Bring up all of our stabilizing jacks. Hook up our hitch and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is going to be behind your tires on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Got a 10-foot hose, comes with it. Put that hose in, hook that up, put the other end in the sewage dump, and pull your right handle. That's going to be your black handle, your wastewater. Once it sounds like that's no longer draining, you can open your door and check to see your tank in your bathroom. Press the black tank to see if it's empty. Once it is empty, leave that black handle open. Again with your water pressure regulator. Take the hose at the dump station, hook that up right here, and let that run for a good 5 minutes. After that washes all the nastiness out of your black tank, go ahead and remove that hose. Close this black handle and pull your gray handle. That's going to be your galley tank, the other one on the other side. That's going to clean your sewage hose out for you. It's going to be cleaner water, sinks and showers. Take the sewage hose, come to your bumper, and conveniently and sanitarily store it inside there. Last, we're going to come to our low point drains. If we are out dry camping, dump that drain there. And on the campsite would be your low point drains over here. Once you have those all drained, come to your hot water heater. It's going to lift up on this pressure release valve. That's going to dump all the remainder of your hot water out of here. Be careful. Push that handle back down, otherwise your door won't close. And then you can pull your drain. Hook up your hitch and head on home. Again, we thank you so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this no boat for many years to come. Happy camping.